patients keep taking tablets for some time and relieve some tablets, again take some tablets, like that. And there are 16% of people have heart blocks who are already operated once. And then they are ready for the second operation. Out of 16, 8 are ready for second operation in a matter of 6 months to 2 years. And there are people who do not get sleep in the night and take tablets for getting sleep, 18%. Now, I have told so many, and 38, 41, 18, 20, 23, and if you keep adding, then it becomes more than 200, but there are only 100 people I'm talking. What does that mean? It means each patient has not got one disease, 2 or 3 diseases. And as if it is not enough, these BP, I didn't mention cancer, I believe now reaching 16% again. So, we have these numbers increasing, not decade by decade, year by year, day by day. In fact, the other day I go to a lot of villages, and when especially in Karnataka, I have been giving more than, 1,000, 1,500 lectures, different villages. And I went to a very remote village, and there were 8,000 people sitting in front of me. And I was telling all these, and then said, now if I go to a village house, I can see in each and every house some tablet or the other. And then one person sitting, I think somewhere around 62 years old man got up and said, Doctor, Elidira, Mane alla aushdi, joballi aushdi de anta tablet. What it means is that it is not every house has tablets, it is every pocket has tablets. Do you understand the importance and the gravity of that statement? And I want to add that it is not the number of patients which are increasing, it is the age of the patients that has been consistently dropping down. That you have these BP patients in the age group of 20 to 30 and 15 to 25 thyroid patients are appearing just like as if there is no other business in the world. So it's not just that we are increasing the number of patients, we are increasing the age of these so-called patients down to younger generations. And I am really sad to report that I keep getting patients now. The age has come down to 8 years old. Babies are coming with diabetic conditions. And of course, in my introduction, Sir has not informed that I have been a homeopathic practitioner for the last 21 years. And 8 years, girls and boys are getting diabetes. Out of 100 diabetic patients I receive, more than 8 patients are below age of 12. And last week, just before I started coming to Telangana, I received a baby 8 months old diabetic. So I'm not cooking up these numbers. These are all the numbers thrown out by WHO. Who? WHO. World Health Organization. This is an organization every 5 years keeps throwing out these numbers and calls itself a health organization. This is one side of the story. And the next side of the story is much more horrific. The women used to menstruate at the age of 14 or 15, just 50 years ago. Now, young girls of age 9 to 10 are menstruating. In fact, my whole journey of this food and health started because of this single event. When I went to America first time in 1986 or 87, now I forget, maybe 87 or 86. First incident shook me out of my wits. There was this young girl in a hospital where I went to get my first medical certificate to join the university. Age maybe 6.5, below 7 years, sitting there on the reception hall, looking, gazing into the space as if she has lost everything. I asked her mother what happened to this girl. The mother said nonchalantly that she started menstruating and the bleeding has not stopped for the last 20 days and they have given her 2-3 injections already and nothing has happened. Hence, she brought her to the hospital. So, that was the biggest shock of my life. The reason was where I came from, India, the women at that time, I never imagined would menstruate at the age of 6 or 7. And what I remember was 14, 15 years of age, natural age of. This is 1986 we are talking about. So I asked the doctor, what happened? How come this girl at the age of 6? And I just happened to finish my PhD on steroids. Estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, these are sex hormones. So I knew the 2 or 3 things about these chemicals. So the doctor again nonchalantly said, oh, this girl little bit too early, but generally here we are seeing all the girls are menstruating at the age of 9 or 10. So in 1985-86 itself in America, girls have started menstruating at that young age. So it shook me out of, what happened? How come in India people are menstruating at they're 14 and here it comes 9, 10? I mean, it's amazing, 5 years, how did they cut short this? So I questioned the doctor, do you think these girls are getting some steroids somehow, somewhere? He got angry. I just left the place, I got my certificate and joined the. And then I didn't get sleep. I just started thinking and then digging out and realized within 3 days that the American kids have been drinking this so-called milk, artificially prepared. That is, they have modified these cows to produce more milk with in vitro fertilization and a lot of antibiotics and oxytocin, another hormone, a growth hormone, a protein hormone, and then estrogen, a sex hormone, injecting these cows, and then you start producing milk in the range of 10 to 15 liters each time the cow is impregnated and the baby comes out. So this milk has been packeted, pasteurized, homogenized, put it into plastic dabbas and put it in the cold rooms. After 10-15 days, all the babies have been fed because there at that time the women were under the social pressure of working. I mean, their career was important and they were working very early. So after the baby is born, they had to just get back to the corporate world culture, just get back to work, otherwise you have no work. So this was the condition in which they just started going through. So they needed the babies to be fed on artificial milk, and then here we go, we have biotechnology, we're producing a lot of milk. Please feed your babies, milk is very good, milk is complete food, all these advertisements. That's how these babies were fed this milk, and then these hormones started entering the body and making their presence there. That means the imbalance, the balance or whatever you call, has happened in this baby. So the whole system started experiencing. See, in the name of producing milk, what did they produce? They produced something that has changed. I'm not talking about diseases. Now the whole nature of the women has changed, and then as if it is not enough milk has to be consumed because they're producing liters and liters, millions of liters. They said, oh, you write in textbooks, milk is good. Complete food. For whom? Your mother's milk is good for you. That is complete food. And the cow's milk is good for the calf, not for you. So, the whole world, in the name of producing milk, started getting these cows. And then everyone started drinking milk left and right. Not only the babies, everyone. Milk is good for you. Calcium. Lot of calcium is there. How much calcium is there in milk? See, the moment I keep speaking, everyone is thinking, oh, milk is good for calcium. Where do we get calcium if we don't drink milk? This is the question popping in all your heads. Because that's how we are brainwashed. Where is calcium? What is the amount of calcium present in 1 liter of milk? Does anyone know? Can someone tell me? But everyone knows you get calcium from milk. Am I right? You get 1 gram of, approximately 1 gram of calcium if you drink 1 liter of milk. And all that is not absorbed by your body. Approximately 160 to 200 milligrams is absorbed. That means if you drink 1 liter of milk, you get that much calcium. And it's not enough anyway for you. That means if you want the complete dose, approximately around 400, 500 milligrams, you need to drink 2 to 3 liters of milk. So calcium you just don't get from milk. You should get from various kinds of foods. And did any doctor tell you that if you drink till doodh, that is sesame seed, 100 grams of sesame seed has got the same amount of calcium as 1 liter of milk. That is 1 gram of calcium is present in 100 grams of sesame seed. Did any doctor tell you to eat one sesame laddu? Ragi milk, if you take 100 grams, it has got 4 times more calcium. And all the calcium is available for you to be absorbing into your body. So, what did my grandmother give me when my mother had less milk? I don't remember, but after growing up, I remember my mother telling me, you are grown on ragi milk, you are grown on sesame seed. So, our elderly people knew what was required for you. But no doctor. I'm not talking about foreign doctors. I'm talking about our scientists, our doctors. Never even contested this so-called artificial milk having high amount of calcium and our products not having or having. And if you drank milk from ragi or navane or sajje, you would have been much healthier because you would not have had this hormonal imbalance at all. And all the women drinking coffee, tea. Without coffee, how can I live? Without coffee, the life doesn't. The gaadi shuru nahi hota hai. So each cup of coffee you're drinking, I'm not talking about caffeine, I'll talk about it later. I'm just talking about the milk dose that you're taking is giving you beautiful dose of steroids, and that's why you're actually more addicted. It's not caffeine, it is the steroids in your milk that you're addicted to. What has happened? All our women in the last 20-25 years start getting mustache on their lips. No problem, we have beauty parlors, another cosmetic industry takes. So we have girls menstruating at the age of 9 and 8, and if it becomes too much, nowadays I started getting girls menstruating in the 4.5. Can you believe a 4.5-year-old girl to say you have become lady already? And no one cares. No scientist talks about it. No doctor wants to do anything about it. And there has been millions of women suffering from these menstrual problems because of this unnatural milk intake for the last 15 years to 20 years. They have been just gulping painkillers when and during these menstrual cycles. Millions and millions and millions of dollars have been generated just by these painkillers. And many women have lost their kidneys. No problem, we have dialysis units. And no one, no scientist, no doctor, no politician, no university professors are interested in saying anything about this. leave alone doing something about it. I have been talking about this for the last 20 years. No one cares. I just tell my patients who come to me, please, for heaven's sake, don't touch milk, don't touch coffee, don't touch tea, don't touch the water in the plastic bottles. The whole world is drinking water in the last 15 years or 20 years, and before that 15, 20 years, the Europe and America have been drinking this plastic water, and wonderful nanoparticles of these plastic materials have been coating your celiac areas in your intestines, and then you have been deprived of these wonderful micronutrients like selenium, copper, zinc, which are directly responsible for your health of the hair. If you want to have hair on your head, you need these micronutrients. Lo and behold, what happened? Our Tirupati Timmappa Kudulu business has come down 10 times in the last 15 years. Though the number of bhaktas visiting Tirupati has increased tenfold. What does that mean? These Europeans lost their hair just long before we lost, and they were looking for what do we do for our hair. They look, oh, here is Tirupati Timmappa selling the hair. And he was making 180 crores or something in 2000. Now 2015 it has come down by half. So in the last 15 years we also started using this so-called hygienic crystal clear. These are the advertisement taglines. RO water. Dream girl comes and sells. So drink. Oh, drinking my individual hygienic water. You go to marriages, everyone gets this. In fact, Ayurveda conferences, everyone is drinking water from this water. Naturopathy, everyone is drinking. So your hair started going away. So we have hair where it should not be, and we have no hair where it should be. So what do we do? How do we clean this water, so-called clean water? In Karnataka, wherever I go now, you have copper vessels. So you just look back, all over India, everyone was using copper vessels or copper plates. Even if you have a mud pot, you put a copper plate or a copper rod. At the end, you have this coconut chippu, so you take water. So this copper rod, the only material in the world whose surface area there are free d orbital electrons freely moving. So these are negatively charged. So the water, because of its hydrogen bonding, is the most peculiar liquid on this planet. And water has another beautiful quality. I will just come to that point in another 5-10 minutes. So because of this hydrogen bonding and this slight polarity in the water molecule present, delta positive, delta negative, positive being on hydrogen and negative being on oxygen, it makes almost anything and everything to be dissolving, if not in large quantities, very, very small quantities. So it starts taking these nanoparticles slowly and steadily, especially when you have these water bottles changing temperatures from cold to hot, hot to cold. Within 3 days, they start getting these nanoparticles. And so you are drinking, and the celiac place is just coated with this hydrophobic material. You need to have celiac place loaded with hydrophilic materials. Now we have, on the contrary, hydrophobic material. So what is happening is that you have these wonderful micronutrients missing in your blood, which directly and indirectly is disturbing your endocrine glands, like pituitary, thyroid. So what does it mean? If you stop drinking this water, your pituitary, thyroid problem should start settling down. And that is what I am trying to indirectly tell you. So how do we clean these stupid plastic nanoparticles out of the so-called clean water? It's very simple. You take all this water from RO system, this system, whatever, because the water even in the corporations is coming through these plastic pipes only nowadays. So you just put it in a mud pot or a steel pot which is very neutral and drop a copper plate maybe 3 inch by 12 inch into it, and overnight the water gets cleaned up. All these unwanted chemicals, viruses, bacteria, because this electrons rotate and kill even the viruses. The best and most effective way of killing any virus is just to make it touch copper for 1 or 2 hours. So all these dead bodies can be actually collected onto the plate, and then you just have to take the plate out and take tamarind or lemon or tomato, clean it back and drop it down. Back again it is ready to clean for you. Not 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 days, not 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 60 years. After you die, you can give it to your daughter, or before you die, give it to your daughter. Then your daughter can hand it over to her daughter or son. It can go on for generation and generation. If you spend approximately 200 rupees for your copper plate, you have your water all along. And that water, if you start using for your kitchen needs also, not just for drinking. So in the last 15, 20 years, I have seen all over the world people drinking this water, as if they have just wonderful clean water, and we are giving all our babies plastic bottles, every school kid drinking glug, glug, glug like that. So if your water was in a mud pot and there was a copper plate, that would have been clean enough. In fact, that's the only clean water you can find. Simple technique. And the most effective technology and most decentralized technology. There is no money involved here at all. So what I have done, in fact, lot of young people losing hair, 20, 25, sir, naniಗೆ ಮದುವೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, I'm not getting married, sir, I'm bald head. This bald head business, it used to be 4 out of 100 men, and 10 lakhs, 1 out of 10 lakh used to be the ratio for women. But now we have 4 women bald head out of 100. Imagine the percentage of how it has changed, and that means we are changing the nature of human beings. I'm not talking about diseases. We are changing ourselves, because what did they do? This artificial milk, artificial water, and going one step further, artificial oil, order of the day. Octane and higher units form our diesel and then petrol, and lower than octane, carbon unit octane, lower, butane, hexane, pentane, they are actually coming out as a byproduct or product that is not necessary in this refinery industry, like mineral oil. A light, transparent, no smell, very good looking oil. So this refined industry, what do I do with this so much ample? If you produce 1 liter of this diesel or petrol, you have around 200 and 250 ml of this oil coming out. So imagine the amount of this mineral oil being produced in tons and tons and tons. So what do we do with this? Let's see. The whole world is taking some oils, that is sesame seed oil, coconut oil, groundnut oil. Let us just say this coconut oil, if you take, you will get cholesterol. So if you take till oil, you will become black. If you drink groundnut oil, you have aflatoxins in it. Your nerves will go. So these so-called scientists start writing articles about these kinds of oils all over the world. Wherever, whatever oil you're using, there is some problem with it. So this so-called scientists started writing in 1970s and 80s, because that's when they had to do something about it. So we have wonderful oil which is free of cholesterol, free of this, free of that. There's nothing there. Actually, it's just a mineral oil. They packet it and say groundnut oil. Oh, it looks like, I just have 1 kilo of that chemical. It makes you feel that it is groundnut oil. 1 kilo of another chemical, it makes you coconut oil. 1 kilo of rice bran oil. Tons of rice bran oil is produced. In fact, rice bran has got, if you actually press 180 kilos, you may get 100 to 200 ml of oil. So we have tons of rice bran oil being produced. Olive oil, very good, omega acid, fantastic for your health. Now, lo and behold, all over the world, everyone is using olive oil. I don't know where this olive oil is coming from because there are hardly any olive trees on this planet. But just to watch 1 hour cookery shows, every cook is using feverishly olive oil, below, up, down, everywhere. And if I just calculated sitting in just for 1 hour, it goes beyond 10,000 liters. Just cook shows, not what you are all using. Imagine how much they are selling. And everyone is happily thinking they are taking olive oil and they have omega acid and they are getting better and better. Their hair is going away and away. What are you doing by consuming these so-called oils? You are just having notion of food. You don't have food at all. We are all okay with it. Because these doctors, these scientists are the omega acid, this acid, that acid. Cholesterol is there in coconut oil. In fact, the best things are there in your sesame seed. Do you all know in India, if someone dies, what do? Put yellow in the mouth and say Narayana, Narayana. You understand what I'm saying? Till मुंह में डाल के राम राम बोलते हैं. क्यों? This way, that way, if there is any life left, he would respond if still works. And if it didn't work, this fellow is really dead, take him away. That's what it means. So when I put yellow, that is sesame seed, into your mouth, that is the last test. That's wonderful is this particular material for you. Here we have the so-called scientists saying that this is useless, and we all think it is useless. In fact, I have had wonderful opportunity of curing thousands and thousands of so-called thyroid patients, making them drink this olive oil. Olive oil? No. Sesame seed oil. Coconut oil. Groundnut oil. Done by Sikka, Ghana. The old big stem of a big tree, and you have a log and two cows, oxen going around, and you produce oil. If you put 10 kilos of groundnuts, you would get 3.5 liters of oil. But now, in the machines, you produce 6 to 7 liters of water just by using expellers. You heat it, but you're changing the nature of the oil. So if you take that oil, be it coconut oil, be it safflower oil, be it till oil, be it groundnut oil, you can cure thyroid problems just like that in a matter of 3 months, and I have thousands and thousands and thousands of patients I have not cured. Just listening to my lectures, people keep calling me and say, "Sir, my thyroid problem is gone, disappeared." Thank God you are clapping. I thought no one will clap. The reason is you are all just thinking, you are not even listening to what I am saying.